What's going on, guys? Welcome to the Petmalu channel. I'm Jonathan Minsayak, and I'm going to show you my new fish tank. It's been 2 years in the making. I got this fish tank custom made for me by my lovely wife. It was a Christmas present back in 2017. And between moving from Irvine to Laguna Hills and trying to find the right space for it, I finally figured it out. There's a lot of planning involved in a fish tank. You don't want to make the wrong decision. You want to make the right decision. It's an investment. I wanted to make sure I did everything right. So I finally got everything I needed between sales of Black Friday, New Year's sales, Christmas sales, all that. I took advantage, made the purchases, and yeah, finally saved enough to buy everything I need for this fish tank. So just to give you a little bit of a overview and some specifications on my fish tank. It's a Peninsula tank, custom made from Crystal Dynamics, and they're based out of Oceanside, California. So the length from the wall to the end is 48 inches. The width of the tank is 24 inches, and the height of the tank is about 19.5 inches. If you did the math, volume-wise, it's just under 100 gallons. So we can consider it, I guess, a 100-gallon fish tank. The sump, it's a Trigger Systems Sapphire 34-gallon sump. And we'll go over that in a bit. Yeah, a little bit about me. I've been in the reef hobby for since 2013. I got my first saltwater reef tank. It's a nano tank, 18 gallons, and I did okay. I've learned a lot. I've lost quite a bit of coral, lost some fish by jumping out of the tank, but it's all a learning experience. We're still learning. We're constantly learning in this hobby. There's a lot to learn, so this is another reason why I got this. I felt like I graduated from the 18-gallon nano tank, and now I have the big boy, and I'm ready to do this. So let's just go over some of the equipment that I got, and I'm going to include all the links to the products that I purchased below, so you can kind of have an idea and see where I got them, how much these things are, do a little research yourself, anything you need. I know everybody out there is doing their own research. I did my own research. It took me some time, so yeah, hopefully you make the right decision as well. Let's go over some of the equipment that I got. Let's start off with the core of the fish tank. The core of the fish tank, a lot of people think the core is the return pump. I went with Neptune Systems Core 20. I think it's a good fit. It's compatible with my Apex unit. So I did end up getting an Apex system. I wasn't sure if I needed it. I ended up going that route. I think it's beneficial. Basically, gives you an idea what's going on in your fish tank any time of day. So I made sure that my return pump was compatible with my Apex system. So Core 20 is compatible. I went that route. I also got the Neptune Dose. A lot of you know, you're aware, water changes is a big part of the hobby, and I wanted to make it simple for me. I don't want to jug around 5-gallon jugs and I don't know, just put hoses around on and off my fish tank. So this is gonna help me do automatic water changes. Yep. I'm gonna do water changes basically on a daily basis. We'll see how that works. Right over here we have Synergy Reef Shadow Overflow. This is the overflow box that makes the water go into your sump from your reef tank. And as far as circulation, I went with Ecotech MP40s. I got 2 of them. I have both of these mounted where the overflow is on the Peninsula. As far as lights. Lights. Everybody knows lights are an important part of making sure corals are happy as far as growth. So I went with Hydra 26 HDs. They were in my price range. I didn't want to go with the Ecotech Radions. They were super expensive. I'm familiar with the Hydra 26 HDs. I use them on my nano fish tank. So I went with 3 of these, and I'm also going to be utilizing 4 fluorescent lights alongside. We'll see how that works. As far as battery backup, redundancy is key. according to Mr. Saltwater TV, Mark Callahan, BRS, all talk about having backup. So I have Ecotech battery backup. For some reason, power goes out of my house. I want to make sure water's still circulating. You want to make sure the water circulates, keep coral and fish happy, or else things can get bad. So I have a battery backup, and it will be pumping and powering the MP40s if for some reason the power goes out. As far as auto top off, 10Z oscillator, auto top off. A lot of people love this. This is my first time using this. I think it's gonna go pretty well, and hopefully, you know, it does a job. I think it will. Protein skimmer, I went with the Aquamax Cone S series. I went with the Cone S C3. It's a pretty big boy. I think I got it bigger than I needed, but I plan to stock my fish tank with a lot of fish and other things, so I want to make sure it was big enough to make sure my fish tank was clean. Dosing. A lot of you guys go back and forth between using Kalkwasser, using 2-part. I end up going the route of having a calcium reactor. Calcium reactor I got is also Aquamax. It's an Aquamax C-Tech T1. I believe that's the name of it. I'll provide the link below. But that's the calcium reactor I got. I've never used a calcium reactor, but I'm gonna learn. I've done a lot of research and I think it's the best way to go. I feel it's the most natural way to go in the ocean. This is the media I've chosen to put in it. Reborn, basically old dead coral. That's gonna be inside its media. And I'm gonna have some magnesium as well. That's gonna go in that. And of course, you gotta have a CO2 tank to make sure it runs properly. And we'll make sure that gets dialed in. Let's see, right here, I have my iPad. This iPad is basically gonna control the fish tank. The fish tank at the end of it has a nice control area. Basically has a place where you can mount everything. So this is gonna be mounted along with all the other controllers, like the Ecotech Marine controller as well. That'll all be controlled in one spot. And this will be basically showing a homepage of the Apex, which basically showcases temperature, salinity, all that information, so you can see that. Gives you all the information you need for your tank. For salt, I end up going with Tropic Marine Pro Reef salt. As you can see right over there, I've gone back and forth with different salts. I've used to use Red Sea Coral Pro. I currently use that in my nano tank, but when I get this started, I'm switching over to the Tropic Marine Pro Reef. A lot of good things about it. It's clean salt water, and when you do your saltwater mixes, your water stations stay clean. Also, if you make your salt water ahead of time, the parameters stay level for a longer period of time. So I end up choosing a Tropic Marine Reef. So can't wait to use that. We'll see how that goes. As far as heaters, I have two 150 watt Eheim heaters. Redundancy. One's gonna basically be on one side of the sump, and then I'll have one on the other side of the sump just in case one fails. The other one will help each other out. Basically keep the temperature in check. But I might swap these out. I think I'm gonna go with the Cobalt Neotherm heaters. They just didn't happen to have them in stock when I bought these during Black Friday. So I might switch those out. I do have some time, so we'll see. We'll see how that goes. I think that's everything. So follow me in this build. It's gonna be a learning process for you. It's gonna be a learning process for me. And hopefully I make this fun for you. If you like what you see, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Everybody does it on YouTube, so you gotta see it, right? Anyways, I'm Jonathan Mansayak, Petmalu. Oh, for those of you who don't know what Petmalu is, it's basically a Filipino slang word for it's cool. So hopefully what you like is cool. And if you do, make sure you hit that subscribe button below and learn how to build this fish tank.